Hey Billy, how are you?
Hello, Robin. How's it going?
Great. Thanks for joining. We're here today. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X. We're all over the place to discuss the IAEM conference, the International Association of Emergency Managers, and to give away our Lazy Boy live on the Bravo Zulu live stream.
Very exciting. Very exciting. I mean, of course, that was the whole reason for the conference is who cares about D4, which is all about the lazy boy. So
That's it. You sound like you've lost your voice from it.
I was waiting to talk about that because when I first joined the call, I think for the past, whatever, 3 days, 4 days, I worked so hard at talking to people for every single day. And if anyone's on the stream who managed to run across my path or our booth, you heard me when I was healthy and I am not healthy now. uh, Eventually it'll recover. Luckily, the holidays are coming up in the States, so I'll have a few days to be on voice rest.
So this has nothing to do with the IAPs and IPAs.
No, but that was the best icebreaker into the entire conference. I think what was so funny because Amy and I, and obviously she's not here today, she's on vacation. But that was the longest day by far because we both flew into Colorado, and kudos to Amy for flying all the way from Dublin to Colorado. I kind of had it easy by just going straight to Colorado from New York. But all day it was nonstop of going to the airport, establishing the hotel. I even met with a client for brunch. Actually, it was Jeff Sparhawk from Colorado SAR. We had a lovely breakfast together. So if Jeff is here, that's a shout out there. When we went to the hotel, I think we only had enough time to briefly stop by the networking party. Then we went to go grab a bite because we can't go drink IPAs on an empty stomach.
Of course
So
not.
we went to this one bar, and it's a little bit more American football. But so we're in Colorado, and Denver is known, although we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado is known for their Denver Broncos, and they're very passionate about their Denver Broncos. But the bar that we went to was a Green Bay Packer themed bar, and I'm a massive Green Bay Packer fan, and they're based in Wisconsin. So it was really funny to be in an opposing team themed bar in
Yeah.
the Broncos home state. So then it was just maybe 3 hours plus of just drinking these phenomenal beers for about 3 or 4 hours. And I think at that point, I couldn't tell if it was tipsy or just being tired that led to really great connections. But that kind of set the tone for the entire conference.
Awesome. So what is International Association of Emergency Managers? I know you were there at the trade show part, the exhibition EMX, Emergency Management Exhibition. But aside from EMX, tell me about what do the association do? What else was going on if you weren't at the exhibition?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know the slideshow is really only going to see me kind of posing in all of our swag at our booth. It was way more than just the expo. I have been a part of IAEM. We could able to learn a chance lazy boy for long. Yeah, honestly, that could obviously be a chance. Great point there, Dale. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. But so for IAEM, I've been a part of the organization since 2020, 2019. And so they're known for their quintessential standards in emergency management, specifically their associate emergency manager and certified emergency manager certifications, but also they're incredibly robust in terms of network connections, career centers, and every single region that aligns with the FEMA regions also has their own group, their own committee, their own
Yeah.
subsect. So I started in Region 3 in Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania. And then I now am a part of Region 2, which is New York, New Jersey, kind of more of the Eastern subsect. So if you weren't at the expo, you had a ton of opportunity to, of course, network and meet with people from the entire industry.
Mm-hmm.
But there were talks going on all day. So you can
Like,
choose
what are the talks? What are the
yeah.
talks about? If people
So
want
one of
to
the more
know.
popular ones, there's a lot on AI integration. There was one that was hosted by I think his name is Dwayne from the IAP IPAs. He did something called Emergency Management, My Dream Job, where he interviewed the coordinating event manager for the Orioles Stadium in Baltimore or in Maryland.
Oh,
So you
nice.
got to see what it was like from event management space for emergency management. There was a bunch on, I think there's one like space weather. There was another one on just how to reduce complexity in emergency management. So you know that D4H actually popped there, but it was actually hosted by Guidehouse Consulting as well.
Okay.
So it was just a variety of talks from a ton of different topics. I'm blanking on most of them because I spent 90% of my day in the expo. But apart from those talks, there was a networking breakfast every morning. There was a project presentation. A bunch of individuals presented their research on posters, and they were all somewhere in competitive divisions, somewhere in non-competitive divisions, showing their research and initiatives in emergency management. I met this wonderful woman named Danielle from New Zealand who actually heard of D4H because of our presence in New Zealand, and she did a really incredible research project on climate resiliency education in lower levels of education. So teaching kids about environmental sustainability and climate resiliency to improve those solutions going forward. And I think she placed silver in her competitive division. So kudos there. But apart from that, I know one of the bigger items that I think is kind of more headlined from Region 2, but I forget this individual's name, but he just created a board game for wildfire emergency management, like an EOC tabletop actual board game. And he presented playing that board game with a group of individuals just to see how that board game plays. So I think it's for sale now. I don't know if they're doing a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe for that. But yeah, there was just anything and everything under the sun. The IAEM is a really just solid organization through and through. I've been with them for multiple years, with a new leadership, a new president, a new regional leadership. It's a really great organization to look into.
So you walk in through the doors. Let's say you walk into the expo, the emergency management expo. How many booths? What do you see? Like, what's the atmosphere?
It's wild. If you ever been to like Comic-Con or like an anime con or some other massive just conference or trade show, that's really what it is. So you walk into this massive hall and there are carpeted floors, posters, booths. When Amy and I first went in there, I think on Monday, it was just completely bare bones. It just had the stations for each of the booths. And then watching every single organization and company and agency completely construct their own little microcosm in each of their booths. Some of the bigger, like flashy items, there was like a massive utility vehicle or like mobile command center vehicle. There was some tent setup to show lodging and sheltering. There were drones actually flying in the exhibit hall as well. Every single table, some had massive electronic stand-ups, some had tables, some had little tiny lounges. There was one company that I didn't get to stop by. I think it was a type of like alarm company. They had a like spin the wheel for a weather disaster kind of interactive station. So it was almost like a mini carnival in a way where you could just walk around and talk to people. And they also hosted lunch in the exhibit hall. So like right behind the booths, there was a massive lunch and networking event where you can go eat and grab food and talk to people. And then even before entering the expo, they actually did a little tiny like Hall of Fame presenting who won each award that year, like Emergency Manager of the Year or Leader of the Year, some, superlatives as such. And then they also had the scholarship baskets and auctions in the front hall as well. So on your way to the expo, you can actually stop by, buy some raffle tickets that go straight to supporting the IAEM scholarship and try to win like whiskey bottles or t-shirts or hats and all different things hosted by the different regions.
Nice. Very cool. So you mentioned you were there with Amy. Amy's extended her trip in the US on a holiday and up and down the eastern coast, I think, the eastern seaboard. She's not on the live stream, but you guys are giving away a Lazy Boy recliner. What
we are
to do?
Yeah, so this was quite a big event. Word traveled very quickly. Kind of a yeah, Matt, I saw you at the conference. Thanks for stopping by. I saw you and a few of your colleagues from Woodford County as well. Kentucky had a massive presence at the expo as well, or just not the expo, but the event. And I wasn't invited to their Kentucky Emergency Management dinner, but that's okay. I won't take it personally. But yeah, so we had these socks. As you see, my feet are plastered on the internet wearing these socks. And the whole purpose of these socks were uncomplicated software for emergency management. Kick your feet up and relax. We spent a lot of time inflating that furniture that you see in the photo, which was extremely stable, honestly. We had multiple people sit on it. We had a dog sit on it at one time, which I know Katie was going through the slideshow. But with these socks, so there was two different actions that you had to do. So the first was you either had to hold up the socks, or if you really wanted to go crazy, you could put them on in person in the expo. So some people actually chose to take off their shoes and socks and
I
have their
saw this board.
yeah. And so what they would do is we'd say, hey, take these socks, take a photo with their Polaroid. You're going to go onto the bulletin board and then you give us our contact information and then we'll enter you into the Lazy Boy. But some people didn't even want to enter in the raffle. The crazy thing was that I did message, I think, 300 plus people on the IAEM app. So I am sorry if I did message you on that application. But eventually it got to a point where people just came via word of mouth. They were like, you're the sock people. You have socks.
And
Why
what was
do you
on the
have
socks? Describe to people what was on the socks.
Oh, right. So the other thing that people were really excited about was on the bottom of the socks, it said, if you can read this, the after action review is done. And that was a massive hit among a lot of people. I mean, I think we showed up with 150 plus pairs of socks and we were gone by the last day with all of those socks. So they held up the socks or put on the socks, took a Polaroid. We put them in that communal bulletin board and then they entered their contact information. And again, the way that I phrased it, which I thought was actually kind of comical, was, hey, best case, you're going to get an email from us saying that you won the Lazy Boy. Worst case, you're just going to get a generic marketing email and you can unsubscribe in spite for losing the competition. And people got a little bit of a kick from that.
Awesome. Well, I hope we see some sock photos appearing across LinkedIn and Facebook and other places now.
Some people grabbed their Polaroids from the last day. They're like, hey, we took a really good photo. Can we take that? And now they actually took those Polaroids back and they're going to be posting them in their office, which is great.
So I've seen I think we've got 82 people who wanted to be in the draw for the Lazy Boy.
80 specifically.
80. Okay, excellent. Correct. And I recognize some of the names. It's great to see lots of customers passing by the booth. I think Katie has got our own spin the wheel.
She does.
Look at this. Hey. So we'll do this live. Billy, I'll get you to spin it.
I'm going to have Katie click it. She has the
but you can count down.
All right, here we go, Katie.
The name of the person whose name comes up live on the stream, we're going to send them, I think it's a gift voucher for a Lazy Boy to make it easy. You can pick your own Lazy Boy, whatever color you want. You don't need our blue one. And you can redeem it at I assume it's lazyboy.com for the gift voucher. Excellent. Okay, you can count us in, Billy.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Spin that wheel. Wow, look at that go. All 80 names. And Johan, let's see where he's from. From the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Johan, congratulations on your Lazy Boy. And we have your email and LinkedIn, so we'll be in contact soon. Everyone else who entered, I am very sorry, but maybe come catch me at the next one for more socks and another raffle opportunity.
Another Lazy Boy. Be on tour now, all the shows giving away Lazy Boys. Awesome, Billy. Thanks, man. Joanne, well done. Excellent work from everybody. I think that's it. We'll love to see photos of people's socks and we'll be in touch with the winner.
Great. Thank you all very much and happy holidays.
Yeah, thanks, Billy. Thanks for checking.